Imagine this. You're biting into your favorite treat. Maybe it's a warm, pillowy donut with that perfect glaze. Maybe it's an ice cold soda on a summer afternoon, or a chocolate bar melting on your tongue. And in that moment, you feel it, that rush, that little spark of pleasure lighting up your brain like a fireworks show. Dopamine floods your system. Your stress melts away. It feels like a reward. It feels harmless. It feels like you've earned this. But while you're riding that sweet, blissful high, something entirely different is happening inside your cells, something silent, something devastating. And it's not about the calories. It's not about willpower. It's about a biological hijacking that's been happening to you for years. Most people think fat storage is simple math, calories in, calories out. But that story is a lie. The real problem isn't how much you're eating, it's what that sugar is doing to your hormones. Every time you flood your system with sugar, you're jamming the signal. You're locking the door to your fat cells and throwing away the key. You're telling your body, do not burn fat, not today, not ever. And here's where it gets darker. You look in the mirror and maybe you see a little extra around the middle. Vanity fat, right? But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface, there's another kind of fat growing, visceral fat, the toxic kind that wraps itself around your liver like a suffocating blanket, the kind that chokes your pancreas. Think of it like this. Your organs are being candied. Just like candy apples at a fair, sugar is literally caramelizing your insides through a process called glycation. Your liver, your heart, your kidneys, they're aging faster, stiffening, and every single fat cell in your body locked shut. This isn't a diet problem. This is a biological emergency. There are millions of people walking around right now who look thin, who look fine, but metabolically, they're rotting from the inside. Doctors call it skinny fat. I call it a ticking time bomb. Now, here's the truth. The most profound, life-altering changes actually happen in the first 72 hours. And most people quit right before the magic starts. So let's walk through this together. Exactly what happens. Hour by hour, day by day, you put down the soda, you skip the dessert. The clock starts now. What's the very first thing your body does when the sugar supply is cut off? Let me be honest with you. The first 3 days are rough. When you cut out sugar, your body doesn't throw you a celebration. It throws a tantrum, headaches, irritability, cravings that hit like waves. Your brain is screaming, give me back my favorite toy. Here's why. For years, your brain has been running on sugar, fast burning, easy access, instant gratification sugar. It's like kindling for a fire. Lights up quick, burns out fast, and your brain got addicted to that quick hit. So when you take it away, your brain panics. It floods you with cravings. It makes you think about cookies at 2 in the morning. This is withdrawal, but it's also proof that something big is happening. Now, let me explain what's actually going on with an analogy that'll make this crystal clear. Think of your body's energy storage system like a kitchen. You've got the fridge and the freezer. The fridge is right there, easy to open. That's your glycogen, sugar stored in your liver and muscles, short-term energy reserve. But the freezer, that's your body fat, long-term storage, the backup plan you're supposed to use when the fridge is empty. Here's the problem. As long as you keep eating sugar, your body never opens the freezer. Why would it? The fridge is full. So your body just keeps restocking the fridge and the freezer stays locked. Your fat cells never get touched. But when you stop eating sugar, something shifts. In the first few days, your body starts emptying the fridge. It burns through that glycogen. And here's the kicker. Glycogen holds water, a lot of water. For every gram of glycogen, your body holds on to about 3 grams of water. So when you burn through that glycogen, the water goes with it. This is why the scale drops fast in the first week. You're not losing fat yet. You're losing water weight. But this is necessary. The fridge has to be empty before your body will even consider opening the freezer. And standing guard over that freezer is a hormone, the villain of this entire story, insulin. Every time you eat sugar, insulin spikes. And when insulin is high, fat burning is impossible. Think of insulin as a bully standing in the doorway. As long as he's there, nobody gets through. Fat stays locked inside your cells. Science calls this the insulin-glucagon axis. It's a seesaw. When insulin is up, glucagon is down. Glucagon tells your body to release fat and burn it for energy, but it can't do its job when insulin is in the room. They're opposites. So as long as you're eating sugar, the freezer stays locked. Your fat cells stay full. But now, after 3 or 4 days of no sugar, something incredible happens. Insulin drops, it steps aside, and for the first time in years, glucagon gets to do its job. The fog starts to lift. The headaches fade. You wake up one morning and something feels different, clearer. Your body is realizing, wait, there's no more sugar coming. I need to find a new fuel source. The fridge is empty. And now your body has no choice but to unlock the heavy door to the freezer. This is where things get interesting. By day 7, something remarkable begins. You haven't eaten sugar in a week, and yet you feel more energized than you did when you were eating it 3 times a day. That doesn't make sense, does it? So how is it possible that you feel better without it? Here's the answer. Your body just shifted fuel sources. For years, you were running on kindling. Sugar, quick, fast-burning, inefficient, but now you're running on logs. Fat, slow-burning, steady, powerful. This is called metabolic flexibility, and most people have lost it completely. When insulin finally drops and stays low, your fat cells get the signal. The vault door swings open. Your body starts breaking down stored fat through a process called lipolysis. For years, insulin stood guard, refusing to let you make a withdrawal. You could see your savings, you knew it was there, but you couldn't touch it. Now that insulin is gone, the vault is open. You can finally access your own energy, but fat can't be burned directly. Your liver has to convert it first. It takes that fat and transforms it into ketones. And ketones are a super fuel. They're cleaner than sugar, more efficient. Your brain loves them. This is why people report intense mental clarity around day 10 or 12. It's not a placebo, it's biochemistry. Your brain is running on premium fuel for the first time in years. The fog lifts, focus sharpens. You feel like someone turned the lights on inside your head, but there's something else happening. Without a constant flood of sugar, your body finally has time to clean house. It activates a process called autophagy. Think of autophagy as your body's cleaning crew. For years, they've been trying to work, but the building's been too crowded. But now the janitors come out. They start sweeping up damaged cells, broken proteins, and cellular debris. They recycle the junk and make room for new, healthy cells. This process won the 2016 Nobel Prize in Medicine, and you're activating it just by staying away from sugar. Your liver, the biochemical powerhouse of your body, is finally getting a break. For years, it's been drowning in fructose, the sugar found in processed foods and drinks. When you overload it, the liver starts storing fat. It literally becomes a fatty liver. But now, after 2 weeks of no sugar, your liver starts shedding that fat. It shrinks, it heals, the inflammation drops. This is why your belly doesn't just get smaller, it gets less puffy, less bloated. Your liver is finally breathing again. But shrinking fat cells is just the headline. What happens next in the 3rd and 4th weeks surprises almost everyone because it has nothing to do with your waistline. Around week 3, people start noticing things that have nothing to do with the scale, things that feel almost cosmetic, but they're not. They're deeply biological. Your skin starts to glow, visible changes, fewer breakouts, less puffiness, a brightness that wasn't there before. Here's why. Sugar binds to collagen in your skin through glycation. Collagen keeps your skin firm and elastic, but when sugar sticks to it, collagen becomes stiff and brittle. It cracks, it wrinkles, but when you stop, the glycation slows down. New collagen forms, clean and flexible. Dermatologists will tell you that quitting sugar is more effective than any cream you can buy. It's better than Botox because you're treating the cause, not the symptom. Then there's your mood. Those afternoon crashes, that 3 o'clock slump, gone. That low-grade anxiety, that jittery feeling you can't quite explain. It fades, Because your blood sugar isn't on a roller coaster anymore. When you eat sugar, your blood sugar spikes, insulin floods in, and then your blood sugar crashes. That crash triggers cortisol and adrenaline, your stress hormones. But now, without those spikes and crashes, your hormones are calm. You feel even, grounded, present. But I know what you're thinking. You've been taught your whole life that your brain needs sugar to function. So let me debunk that right now. Your brain does need glucose. That part is true, but here's the part they didn't tell you. You don't need to eat glucose for your brain to have glucose. Your body is a chemical wizard. If your brain needs sugar and you're not eating it, your liver will make it through a process called gluconeogenesis. Your liver can convert protein and even some fat into exactly the amount of glucose your brain needs. You do not need to eat sugar to have blood sugar and muscle loss. When blood sugar is low and insulin is low, growth hormone kicks in. Growth hormone is your body's muscle protector. It spikes during fasting and periods of low insulin. Its job is to preserve lean tissue while directing your body to burn fat instead. So not only are you not losing muscle, you're in a hormonal state that protects it. Now the fruit question. What about fruit? Isn't fruit just sugar? An apple contains sugar, but it also contains fiber, vitamins, minerals, and water. That fiber slows down the absorption of the sugar so you don't get the same insulin spike. Compare that to a soda, same amount of sugar, maybe even less, but it's liquid. No fiber. It hits your bloodstream like a freight train. Whole fruit is not your enemy. Processed sugar is. So you've survived the withdrawal. You've unlocked the fat stores. Your skin looks younger. Your mood is stable. Your energy is through the roof. But here's the critical part. If you stop at day 30 and go right back to your old ways, you've completely missed the point. Day 30 is not a finish line. It's a new baseline. You haven't just lost weight. You've repaired your metabolism. Your cells are different now. They're sensitive to insulin again. For years, your cells were screaming, "Stop, we're full." But your body kept forcing it in. That's insulin resistance. But now, after a month of no sugar, those walls have come down. Your cells are listening again. This means when you do eat carbs, your body handles them efficiently. It uses them for energy instead of immediately storing them as fat. You've earned metabolic freedom. Think of it like this. For years, sugar was the pilot of your life. It decided when you were hungry, when you were tired, when you were happy, and when you crashed. You were just a passenger. But now you're back in the cockpit. Sugar doesn't control you anymore. You control it. And here's the phrase I want you to remember. You don't lose weight to get healthy. You get healthy to lose weight. The weight loss you saw over these 30 days wasn't the goal. It was the side effect. The real transformation was metabolic, hormonal, cellular. You fixed the broken signals. You reversed the damage. You restored your body's ability to do what it was always designed to do: burn fat for fuel, protect your organs, and keep you thriving. This 30-day reset wasn't a diet. It was a biological reboot. So if you learned something new about your own body today, if something clicked that's been confusing you for years, hit that like button. And if you're serious about taking control of your health, if you're ready to stop being a passenger and start being the pilot, subscribe, because we're just getting started.